Hello and welcome back to another episode of Nick Tiffany's Movie Reviews in the podcast form. We're back again with some more SIF Online coverage. Another documentary today, hitting close to home in Seattle. God, this is one I knew what I was getting into based off the name of this movie. It was one of those I was hoping I was going to be proved wrong. I'm like, maybe this is going to be a diamond in the rough and it's going to just flip all my expectations on my head, or on their head. The movie, Punderneath It All. That was Punderneath It All. I get this red light when I, a little bit too much, so we'll try to keep that down. But yes, Punderneath It All. A pun in and of itself. Do you really love me? Underneath it all. That's the first thing I thought when I saw this. But come to find out, Punderneath It All is exploring the diverse world of pun slam, not poetry, but pun slams, pun-offs, and pun tournaments from America's most talented participants. This is something that feels so Seattle that it made a lot of sense when the film kicks off in Seattle. Looking at all these, the first Seattle pun off, there's the pun intended pun slam. You've just got there's a lot of really, really excited people who love puns. So much so that they'll get up on stage in front of tens of people. And it's more than that. It might be 100. It may be a little bit more. But they will get up there and do some on-the-fly pun-offs. They'll get a category, and you trade blows back and forth. And if you say something that's not a pun, and it's more a play on words, you're going to get a strike. But that line is really murky because in Austin, another weird place where weird people are, and let's just keep Austin weird, keep Portland weird, keep Seattle weird. It's like the Trinity. The three of those. So, I'm sure there's Portland pun-offs. In Austin, they're a little more rigorous with their rules. You watch these competitions, and some of these judges, and again, I know this is like a really niche thing, but, there's celebrity punners, celebrity judges in the pun world, and it's like, oh my God, I can't believe I got to perform with Barack Punnington. But I don't know. People are getting up there being pretty creative with their wordplay, getting shot down, and you got people arguing over, what's a pun, what's not a pun. And some of it's a little confusing because I don't know. They go over the fact that yes, puns are probably the lowest form of comedy. But, a lot of these people are like, but, it's the lowest form of comedy, but, it can kind of be highbrow, it can be celebrated and embraced, people want to groan when they hear a pun, but everybody thinks of them, they're dad joke adjacent a little bit as well, because a lot of dad jokes kind of got worked into the pun off, and that was a big no-no for the pun patrol. But, you follow a few different pun coordinators, taking the shows on the road, expanding upon what they found in certain cities and building new audiences in other states. I really want to be nice. I don't want to go overboard. I think it's too easy to be snarky sometimes, especially for me. Especially when it comes to puns, because I feel like I've been deprived of good comedy movies for years now. I don't know what happened. Maybe I do know what happened. But as society has changed somewhat, we started losing straight comedies, and we started losing, absurd, ridiculous, laugh out loud stuff, I feel like. And so I don't know, the last few years I've felt starved for humor. And just something, even Ted Lasso, which has always had a very dramatic lean to it, was always chuckle-worthy It could be pretty funny, but is now just like 100, hour and a half long episodes, and everything's really serious. And not that it's not great, but you're like, dude, I need to lighten up a little bit. I came here to laugh. Yeah, I came here to love too, but I came here to laugh. So I did do some laughing during this movie. I don't know if it was at the movie or with the movie, at the idea of these pun slams. I couldn't help but just think of Jonah Hill in, 22 Jump Street. When he's doing slam poetry. She died for our Cynthia. She died for our Cynthias. I like literally watching people. It was like watching people bomb at karaoke sometimes too. Like, it's fun. It's funny. You can laugh at it. You can laugh at them maybe like, oh, they tried. Oh man, though. This is such a Seattle thing. This is like such a Seattle. Like, I told people who didn't watch this, I was like, well, you didn't make a mistake, I don't think. But I was like, I just assumed that this had to be some West Coast type deal. And of course it was Seattle. Of course it was started here, and parts of it were started here. I don't know. If puns are your thing, you're going to eat this up. You're going to have a grand time with this documentary. It's harmless. It's not a bad documentary. I just think the subject material I really wanted to get into and really enjoy, but I don't know. It wasn't for me. I'll just say that, it's not my out, but it just was not my cup of tea. It was not the kind of comedy that I go for. Maybe I am a bit of a snob. Maybe I'm a little more highbrow, but I don't know. The puns just did not do it for me. So Punderneath It All. If you like puns, if you like Seattle, if you want to explore some quirky niche worlds, then Punderneath It All is that's your baby. You got to go for that. You got to watch it when it comes out. Otherwise, I'm sure you can create 5 or 6 puns while listening to this right now that would probably rival what I watched. So you could do that for me because I did this for you. I watched this for you so that you could deliver me some better puns, hopefully. I won't go in any more detail. There's not too much detail to go into. It's fine. It is what it is. We're moving on. We're out of the documentary range. We got 2 movies left at SIFF, and I'm happy to tell you they were great. Blew me away. Great, great stuff, and I just can't wait to talk about it. So tune in, listen in, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.